Hello and welcome to another Mac Trains episode. This time we're looking at the product pipeline for the year ahead, up to December, and a wee sneak peek beyond that, what we might hope to see. So stay with us, hope you'll enjoy it. August. Well, Pico signals, they've landed now, they're available, they're there for pre-order, go ahead and get them. I think these things will be very well received, and we've waited for them, and we're looking forward to getting them out. They surprised us, Pico, also with second radius track, and not just second radius, but some straights of set track too. And I think this bodes very well. This is Pico further investing in the scale and expanding their range. And still to this day, Pico track, I think, remains the standard by which all others are judged. So this is very good for TT120. Princess Coronation, Era 5, the DCC version, the TXS version, and the Era 4, they're also now expected before the end of this month. So this is looking good. So August, not a bad month. September, well, a few little tankers, the same tooling but new liveries with the Benzol and the BP, and also the TOUAX containers. Multiple liveries for this. That is going to be a major release when it comes. I think folk will be pleased to see that. That's been done in Arnold. It's been brought across for TT120, particularly in preparation for the 66s. Let's move on to October, which of course brings us to the 66s. Lots of liveries coming out here. DC, DCC, there's a whole suite of them. So GBRf, blue, green, the DB Schenker, the old style BR blue, but that's a kind of throwback. It's out of era, but the Colas rail freight, all that's available. This is going to be a major release for Hornby. It's actually pulled slightly forward, I think, from a previous release date. It's now, I think, earlier in October. But this is going to be out before the end of the year, certainly. And this is going to be a substantial uptick, particularly in modern image stuff. So we're looking forward to that. Hornby signals are also due out. These are very well priced. It'll be interesting to see how they compare and compete with the Pico. They're not exactly the same, certainly. These are posable, whereas I think the Pico ones are set. But we certainly look forward to that coming out as well. And then, and this is just me speculating here, we had the April event. It wouldn't be surprising to see a second event. If it is, my guess is October, possibly November. But that's just pure speculation. But it's nice to speculate. Who knows what's coming if they were to do something like that. Move into November. So we have, this is excitement. It's not what we haven't seen before. Put it together in a tremendous value train set, the HSTs. This is, I think, very well timed and very well planned by Hornby. It comes out in November. It's there. It's in stock. It's in stockists. It's in retailers before Christmas. And I'm sure this will sell extremely well. If you haven't already, do remember, pre-orders to all these things are in the description below. Not just the Intercities though, we're also looking for the J50s. This, I think, will be what we've been asking for some time. Give us a small steam loco. Give us something that we can shunt around with a wee bit and it will expand the possibilities for steam layouts and steam era layouts. So that J50, also due in November, also therefore before the end of the year, that I think is going to be extremely popular. Do bear in mind at present this is a 6-pin. There is no HMDCC 6-pin available yet. So if that is mission critical for you, you may have to either look at fitting somehow a 8-pin into it or waiting patiently or impatiently for the 6-pin HMDCC. We don't know how possible that might or might not be until they come out to fit an alternative one. But bear that in mind if you look at the J50. Again, link in the description below. And then the oft-requested green BROH shunter. And that is going to be, I think, one that is also very well received. So we've got lots of stuff happening. You've got between the J50 and the green 08, these sort of mid-transition eras, I think, will be very well covered. And I think folk will respond to that extremely well. December's a lighter month, but we've got the lovely, classy Pullman first class coach, which is due to come in. There she is. I think that's going to enhance the rakes of those who are already invested in the Pullmans, and we're looking forward to seeing the first class arrive and give us something to smile about in the winter months. That takes us up really to the end of the year that we know of what's coming, but what about just beyond that? If we look at what we think is coming the first half of 2025, we've got the level crossing that's scheduled into January. It's possible it could make it before the end of the year. More likely, from what they're telling us, it's going to be into the new year before that comes out. And then we've got the BR Rail Freight Class 50. This is due in about May. It's the same LOCOS has been out before, but in the GBRf livery. And we've got with that the Mark IIe coaches coming in. And then on top of that, we've got the other liveries for the 21-ton mineral wagons. So I hope that these things show there's plenty of scope left. There's no slackening off of the pace of TT120 between now and the end of the year, and looking a little bit ahead into what we think is coming in the first half of 2025. We'd also expect in that first half there to be a Hornby event around about the April, if they're following the same pattern as they did this year. And that will be, I think, the main launch. Then maybe I say something this year, come October, November, but I think that'll be a lesser sort of secondary event. The main one I think they're going to stick to will be the springtime event each year. But let's do a little bit of crystal ball gazing for a moment. What comes beyond that? Well, 37s, we've seen the excellent looking CAD. We've seen the CAD for the 31s. We've seen the 9Fs. More Pico wagons wouldn't surprise me. More track certainly wouldn't surprise me for Pico. I think that's an area I'm sure that they're considering. Pico do take their time to bring things to market, but when they bring it to market, it's usually very well thought through. And then, of course, we're looking at the announced Revolution trains, GNA, MMAs. They're also due next year. Exactly when, I couldn't tell you, but hopefully they'll be out not too long after the 66s. And I think that will be a tremendous addition to the range. And it wouldn't surprise me, Westhill Wagon Works, what will they bring out? They've got their catenary range. They haven't said that's coming to TT120. But it wouldn't entirely surprise me if it did. And it depends what else might get announced that would work with that, of electric locos. But these are the kind of things I think we should be looking at and considering as what's next. Hope that's been useful for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for staying with me and watching. More to come, I'm sure.